The night was restless, heavy clouds rolling across the sky as a storm took over the silence of the countryside. Rain lashed against the windshield of a car that came to a slow stop in front of a mansion that looked older than time itself. Four friends stepped out, their laughter mixing uneasily with the sound of thunder. Before them stood the decaying structure, its roof half collapsed, its windows shattered like empty eyes staring into the night. The iron gate, rusted and crooked, creaked open on its own, as though welcoming them or warning them. They had been told not to come. In the village nearby, an old woman had stared at them with haunted eyes, her voice trembling as she whispered that the house remembers every soul that dares to enter. But they had laughed, brushing her off as another superstitious relic of the countryside. Now, with the storm behind them and the mansion before them, the warning returned to their minds, but it was too late to turn back. The door of the mansion opened with a groan that sounded almost alive. Inside, the air was thick with dust, suffocating and stale. Each step they took stirred clouds of dirt, the floorboards creaking like bones beneath their feet. A broken chandelier dangled dangerously from the ceiling, its crystals blackened with years of neglect. Then, with a sudden crash, the door behind them slammed shut, sealing them in. The silence that followed was worse than the storm outside. Their flashlights cut through the darkness, revealing fragments of a forgotten life. Furniture draped in cobwebs, mirrors cracked beyond recognition, curtains that swayed though there was no wind. On one wall, they noticed a giant portrait, a family frozen in oil paint. The father's eyes were sharp, the mother's expression cold, the children stiff as dolls. And yet, as the friends stood there, it felt as if the painted eyes moved, following them with each breath. Shadows stretched unnaturally across the canvas, twisting and shifting as though the family inside was restless. Deeper into the house in the dining hall, one of them stumbled across a loose wooden panel. Beneath it lay a trap door, hidden away, waiting. The hinges screamed as they forced it open, revealing a staircase spiraling down into complete blackness. A wave of rot and rust washed over them as they descended. The basement was a tomb of horrors. Symbols carved into the walls seemed to writhe in the flashlight's beam, and dried stains smeared across the floor looked too much like blood. Chains hung from the ceiling, swinging gently though the air was still. Then it came, a voice soft at first, then deep and resonant, crawling across their skin like icy fingers. Leave, or stay forever. The words echoed without a mouth to speak them, and suddenly the air turned bitterly cold. Their breath came out in clouds as the light bulb above them flickered and burst, plunging the basement into suffocating darkness. Something unseen brushed past them, something that did not breathe, something that was waiting. A scream shattered the silence. One of the friends vanished into the shadows, his cries echoing until they faded into nothing. Panic set in. The survivors scattered, their footsteps pounding against the wooden floors, their desperate breaths mingling with the house's whispers. Hallways stretched longer than they should, corners twisted back into themselves, the mansion shifting like a maze designed to trap them forever. At last, two of them reached the front door. They clawed at the lock, pulling, kicking, begging for it to open, but it refused. The house groaned, the walls seemed to close in, and in an instant, one more was dragged away, screaming into the dark. Only one remained. He stumbled forward, slamming his body against the door until, with a violent crack, it gave way. He fell into the storm outside, the rain drenching his face, the cold air filling his lungs. Relief washed over him. He had survived. But then, in the reflection of a puddle at his feet, he saw the truth. His eyes were hollow, his skin pale, his body twisted and lifeless. He had not escaped at all. The house had claimed him, just like all the others. He was no longer a man of flesh and bone, but another soul bound to the whispering house. And the storm raged on as the mansion stood waiting for the next visitors to arrive.